From the gridiron to the diamond, this is more than X's and O's. This is your best Florida sports podcast with CBS 12 News sports director John Evenson, producer extraordinaire Sam Sullivan, and Max Shepman with the lighter side of sports.
And we are back for a very special episode 30. We made it to the big 3-0. It's two of us here, and our very own John Evenson is at Augusta National.
He's been taking a lot of field trips lately.
He has.
From Boca Raton to Augusta, Georgia. I'm in one of the media rooms here. Some iconic pictures, as you can see behind me. None more iconic than the pimento cheese sandwich right there. Which
I was going to say, it's not the Tiger Woods, dude. It's not the Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
It's not that.
There you go. Well, we will get to, of course, the Masters, break that all down for you, all sorts of different angles. John has a bunch of stories from the days that he's been there so far. But first, let's talk about those Florida Gators. I mean, what a national championship game. I feel like every year, regardless if it's 2-1 seeds or a Cinderella team or whatever, the national championship, it's one of the most entertaining championships across all sports, whether it's major or college level. I mean, the Gators were down by as much as 12 in the second half against the Houston Cougars, but they found a way. They found a way to win. John, let me start with you. What were your thoughts after they, secured that win? And of course, you got to talk to Billy Horschel, former Gator, afterwards.
Yeah, I got such great stories here. I got to choose one or two of them. But I mean, that was the one thing I was scared of. We've seen almost every game in this NCAA tournament. The Gators got off to a horrifically slow start. They just were not looking like themselves. And in this case, it was Houston just suffocating them with their defense early on. Clearly trying to, suffocate specifically Clayton Jr., and they were succeeding until they weren't. And the Gators pulled another Gators with an amazing comeback, showing off their depth. But you're not going to believe this. So Monday night, we're done our coverage here, and we're heading home. We're exhausted, Ed and I, the camera guy, but we're like, you know what? It's the national championship tonight. The title game, we get to go home. We're going to be a little sleepy tomorrow, but we are definitely watching this in our hotel rooms. We get back to the hotel, and there's all these Comcast trucks everywhere, like with their sirens going, and all these wires are down. And I just had a sinking feeling. And we go in, we park into the lobby. There's signs everywhere. Due to the outage, we have no Wi-Fi and no TV service in the hotel rooms, and they'll be coming on at 9:00. So I'm like, okay, well, that'll be perfect timing. Then everyone there is freaking out. All the people who are staying there, they're here for the Masters. They're like heading out to like different places, Hooters, whatever. John Daly's
a big Hooter guy.
Yeah, I think you watch it with John Daly. And 9:00 rolls around, and it's not back. And I've been up for like 16 hours. I'm in this hotel room in Thompson, Georgia, like the smallest town. Like we're not even in Augusta. We're like half an hour away from Augusta. And I watched the national championship game using the regular, 4G on my little mini phone. It kept glitching. It was unbelievably horrible from a viewing standpoint, but, stuck it out, watched the Gators pull off another comeback. And man, Will Richard, we were always talking about Clayton Jr. and, of course, Elijah Martin, because he used to play for FAU and, winning it all this time. But Will Richard, my goodness, they would not have won a title without him. 18 points. He did everything to put them in, even when they were down. He kept them in position to do a Gator, to pull a Gator and come back and win this thing. Well-deserved national champions.
I just want the record to show, and I wish we could play it back. Who was the guy last week that said, hey, overcoming big deficits really going to help Florida in this national championship? Obviously, against Auburn doing it there, and then obviously against Houston. Evanson, you kind of brought it up. Obviously Clayton, I believe it was like 7:50 left in the second half where he made his first field goal, which is insane, right? So Will Richard obviously helped carry Florida to stay in position to even attempt to have a comeback in that first half. Evanson, you said he had 18 points, obviously, and 14 of those were in the first half, which is crazy.
Yep.
And he just set up so many plays in the late going. And yeah, you're right, Max. That was my biggest fear, is that, okay, this is all fine and dandy, but against Houston, look what Houston did against Duke in the final minutes. They're like a boa constrictor, but the Gators absolutely proving that they were the best team in the country, not a shadow of a doubt, for them to be able to just overcome that and take it to another level. It was.
Well, yeah, and the one thing that I just want to throw out, we saw like a roles reverse like in that game, right? I believe Florida had like 9 turnovers in the first half. And in the second half, like you said, it was kind of Houston shooting themselves in the foot. They had 4 turnovers heading into the last 5 minutes of the game, last 2 minutes of the game, and they had 5 total turnovers the last 2 minutes of the game.
Obviously, they went absolutely cold in the most critical moments of this national championship game. That's going to haunt that fan base for a while, because that they were, speaking of the Gators not playing like the Gators early on, Houston was not playing like Houston and the late going when it mattered the most.
Right, and shout out Florida's defense. Obviously, the last second try to hoorah. I mean, Houston really looked discombobulated like on that final play. I feel like that handoff to try to set the play was a little too close for my liking.
Yep.
But yeah, you got full credit to the Gators defense on that last second hoorah, because they were smothering it, and for them to not even get a shot off Houston was impressive. So that well deserved for them.
Yeah, I definitely think, before we get to Billy Horschel, you talking to him, John, I really feel like what Houston was able to accomplish against Duke, being down by nearly 10 points in the final minute, to come all the way back and win that game, it felt like they were burned out at the end. Like they had already lived and experienced that huge moment. To be able to lock back in mentally again and do the same thing, you could kind of tell that it was like they were burnt out. That's really kind of the best way to put it. So a credit to 2 great teams, but of course the Gators find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, and it was so cool. So the very next morning, I mean, we're so tired. I think we woke up. I must have had 3 hours of sleep. So my absolute mission, of course, was to find the most well-known Gator alum golfer. He had just won the TGL championship. We watched it, the title in Palm Beach Gardens. I'm going out there. I'm thinking, like, I'm covering, the most glorious golf tournament in the world. But my mission this morning, just hours after the Gators have won the national title, has got to be to find Billy Horschel. And sure enough, Ed and I pull up to the first hole, and who's teeing off but Billy Horschel. He did me a favor. He's right there, bright and early. I was like, did he stay up and watch this game? How can he want to play at 7:30 a.m. after his beloved Gators had been celebrating? You go to sleep after that, your adrenaline's flowing, but he was up, ready to go, played a full 18, I believe, if I'm right. Yeah, full 18, because I had to wait for another 9 holes. And here at the Masters, you have to say the first 9 and the second 9. You can't say front 9, back 9. It's just there's Augusta National Golf Club etiquette. So let that be known. And when he was done, yeah, we talked about, he talked in detail about the game, how he wished that they had not given him another minor heart attack, and that everywhere he went, I watched it, everywhere he went, he would say hello to people, and they would say, "Go Gators, go Gators." Like, everyone knows that he went to UF, and they were celebrating along with them. So let's throw to that story I did for CBS 12 News.
It's always great that no matter where I go, I'm hearing "Go Gators," and there's always someone at least supporting me out on the golf course.
Florida Gators alum Billy Horschel was beaming with pride this morning as he refamiliarized himself with Augusta National Golf Club. What better way to celebrate his Gators winning a national championship than trying to win the Masters on the same week?
Florida's back on top! Obviously, I stayed up and watched the game, and it was a tough game. Houston played well, but it's been that way with our Gators, and since pulling out at the end and finding some magic.
Every single game, they look like they were completely out of it, and it's kind of like you guys at TGL, man, and that comeback, fist pump situation.
Yeah, I would have rather have them play like the way they did in the SEC championship game. where it was a little bit more easy enjoyable last 15 minutes or so. But it was nice that everyone's congratulating me. It would have sucked the other way if they were saying, too bad about the Gators. Like, that would have been a real down. Go Gators.
As passionate as Horschel is about his Gators, he might even be more passionate about playing at the Masters.
You're playing a golf course that is so special. You've seen so much of on TV. You know a lot of the quality and those special Augusta moments, those Masters moments that you want to be a part of. You want to have a chance on Sunday to sort of etch your name in history.
Yeah, great Billy. Yeah, Evanson. Hey, we're back, dude.
Sorry, guys. I was about to open my pimento cheese sandwich right here, the classic in the green Masters bag. I'll have to save this for later.
Yeah, that looks like it's 5 days old. But anyway,
I don't know. It looks fresh, dude.
No, this is fresh. I just got it.
You know who do you think Scottie Scheffler likes pimento cheese sandwiches?
I don't know.
These are the real hard-hitting questions we need to ask.
Well, it's funny you do ask that, because right here, Scottie Scheffler is hosting his second Champions Dinner on Wednesday night. We're taping this on Wednesday. So the menu will include, the winner of every Masters gets to host the Champions Dinner. All the legends who have won are there, and he's the host, and he chooses the menu. So cheeseburger sliders served Scottie style.
Ooh,
don't know what that means. I guess
is that like Mike's way for Jersey Mike's?
Yeah, I don't know. That's got to be like grilled, sautéed onions, something. Yeah.
A main course choice between cowboy ribeye and blackened redfish, and the popular chocolate chip skillet cookie for dessert. But the main thing that he's going to be serving here is something he's calling the Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites. Now, people say that Scottie Scheffler doesn't have a strong personality. This guy is funny. He's got that on his list because you might remember just before the end of 2024, he was trying to make homemade ravioli with a wine glass, and it broke, and he cut his palm like really bad. It took him out for a few weeks. So he is serving that as kind of a tongue-in-cheek item. And someone asked him at the press conference, needless to say, you're not going to have like a make your own ravioli serving station, right? And he said, no, I'm not going to try to take out the competition. Maybe they'll try to take a knife away from me. They won't let me cut my own steak to keep me safe because I'm a child and I cut myself all the time. But yeah, Scottie Scheffler has a chance, and he is still, the guy to beat. This guy is still on top of his game. He could become, I think, just the fifth golfer of all time to win 3 Masters, and he would become only the second, if he were to win here this week, to win 3 Masters over 4 years.
I stole my stat I was going to bring.
The only other guy to do that, you know who?
The Golden Bear.
You're right.
The Golden Bear.
You're right. So there's always history up for grabs at the Masters, and he really does seem like he's coming out of his shell. People used to accuse him of being boring. I thought that was unfair. He was up and coming. People didn't really know him yet, but he's got a really dry sense of humor, and it's starting to come out with that menu item there and his jokes about ravioli.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think the biggest difference between last year and this year with Scottie, of course, I mean, on fire all of last year, had 7 championship wins last year. He also had 2 before coming into last year's Masters. This year, none, but that's not to say, of course, like you mentioned, John, he is still at the top of his game. I mean, he still is the guy to beat, but it will be interesting to see, he's not coming in with that momentum like he did last year. Will that play a part in his play, really? So it's going to be interesting, really.
Yeah,
Augusta National just suits him though, and he's just got the precise, just every part of his game is big time striking. His putting game is strong all the time. He doesn't buckle under pressure. Nothing seems to make him nervous because you can get into some precarious positions here at Augusta National Golf Club. It just this course just suits him so well. I think it's scary to think how many Masters he could win here, but we have said that before. I think back to Jordan Spieth. We thought that he couldn't stop winning Masters, and he eventually did, and maybe there's another one in his future, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, and obviously, speaking of Augusta, because we're getting the wrap up here, I sat down with our own Stefany Valderrama. She's an Augusta native, so she grew up around the Masters, so she knows everything and anything that needs to be asked and answered. So I sat down with her earlier this week. So here's my sit down interview with her. Hello, friends, and welcome to the best Florida sports podcast room. I'm Max Shepman. Joining us now is our Augusta native, our very own Stefany Valderrama. Hi.
What up, fam?
How
Happy
are
to be here.
We've
Max.
been talking a long time about getting you on the podcast, and we just really needed to wait to find the perfect subject. And I think we found one.
I would agree.
I mean, if people don't know, they should be able to tell by the hats that we're wearing. It's Masters week. It's Masters time.
It is Christmas in Augusta. I'm so upset that I'm not there right now.
Are you? I'm kind of surprised you didn't take any vacation days for this.
Well, luckily, because of my schedule, I can just go home and watch the rounds.
That is true. You do work the morning, so you're able to catch the prime time slots for the Masters.
It doesn't keep me up late because they are done before sunset.
Which is even better.
Right.
Because usually by sunset, you're already sleeping.
Exactly.
So, as I mentioned, you are an Augusta native. Your parents currently still live in Augusta. So, what's Augusta like during the rest of the year the Masters is not there?
Yeah, so 51 weeks out of the year. I mean, Augusta's just it's a small town. I feel like on the weekends, you're enjoying the high school football game, the high school baseball game. You're going out to eat at restaurants. There's sometimes small concerts at Lady A. If you know, you know.
I don't know, so I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a small town. And there's plenty of things to do, art to enjoy, beautiful restaurants, beautiful places. You might catch a Green Jackets game.
Touche.
They just built a new stadium a couple of years ago. It is such a vibe. They have such cool restaurants there. I mean, think Roger Dean Stadium. They have places to live and apartment complexes, but then they have the Abacoa feel. That's sort of the Green Jacket Stadium feel.
All right. Nice little culture community going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's plenty to do in Augusta, but 51 weeks out of the year, it's more of low key. And then here comes Masters Week, and
does it hit you? Does it hit the town of Augusta like a truck? Is it just 51 weeks of the year, everybody's just chilling low key, going to hang out with their cousins or whatever the hell it is, and then next thing you know, bam, hello, the Masters is here.
So, okay, how when you were little, that feeling on Christmas morning?
Yes.
That's what Masters Week feels like in Augusta every single day. Or another example would be if you've always looked forward to going to Disney as a kid and, that first time you've ever seen Magic Kingdom and the big castle, that's the feeling that you get. Even when you're not there, I woke up this morning so happy. I'm it's Masters Week. Period.
Is it weird, the week of the Masters, you just probably see all these big time people rolling in, like you said, 51 weeks of the year, it's just you guys. And then boom, next thing you know, you see Rolls Royces, Mercedes, big time celebrities rolling in,
Yeah, I mean, so the regional airport is just full to the brim with people's jets flying in, obviously. I mean, as far as around, out and about, I feel a lot of people have drivers. So, they're just in dark SUVs. You don't know who you might run into, which is
classic,
kind of
Secret Service, SUVs that nobody knows who the hell's inside.
Yes. I mean, it's very cool because you never know who you might actually run into or whose assistant you might overhear on the phone. I have quite a story about that. I don't know if I could share it on the pod.
All right. Okay.
After the pod.
I believe you. I believe I heard hints of this story.
Yes.
But imagine just being in a grocery store and some guys going over like travel arrangements for like somebody. You're like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, it was definitely someone's assistant who, a golfer was not having a good year that year.
All right.
And they wanted to have a very private dinner and not be stopped or speak to anyone. And the guy on the phone's like, how much is it going to cost to rent out this restaurant right now? And it was like $27,000. He's like, all right, let's do it.
Wow.
This was like, what,
I don't know if I'm more
7
shocked
years ago?
Just being able to, like, that guy making the phone call, or just like $27,000 to rent out this we're good. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think this person was looking for privacy, so they were like, we're willing to pay whatever.
That's fair. That's fair. So let's get to the course, right?
Yeah.
You've been there. You've covered it before. You've walked around the grounds. The entrance to Augusta National. When you first get onto the property, is it as amazing as cameras make it seem to be? Because, sometimes, like, when you see something on TV, like, oh, like, that looks really cool, but then, like, you get to a certain place, like, oh, this sucks.
I actually get chills, like, thinking about it. It is unbelievable. It's like walking into a picture. The grounds are perfection. I mean, the green is actually as green as you see it on TV. The flowers are perfect. It looks like a painting. Like, it's unbelievable to think that it's actually real when you walk in. I mean, like, talking about, I'm like so hyped right now. Like, it gives me chills because it literally is such an incredible place. I mean, it's literally like Disney World for adults.
I mean, who doesn't love Disney World for adults? And like, I've also heard, again, I haven't heard, Evanson's up there for us, that the media clubhouse, is that what it is?
I don't know the official name, but yeah, it's where the media
it's like
station.
it's like one of the greatest, like, things of all time, right?
I wish every event like treated us as good as the great folks over at Augusta National, because wow, I mean, everything is on demand. Anything you need, like, before you even think as a media member, like, oh, I need that, they've already served it to you.
Which is insane.
Right.
And I believe there's, like, free beer there, too.
Yes.
You get free beer there? Oh, my God.
After you've worked
a long day,
I feel like it's well-deserved.
Well, speaking of long days, you've been out there, like, covering
yes.
the Masters. Because, the patrons, they walk around, they have a good time, whatever. Give me the media experience of being able to cover the Masters. Like, things that, like, the normal people that walk around or see on TV don't necessarily get to experience from the media perspective.
So I was lucky enough to do this, like, pretty early on in my career, which I'm honestly shocked by because it is such a prestigious event to cover. And I remember just pitching very simple stories to my news director, wanting to keep it simple because you have to do all of the walking. So as a photog, you are very aware carrying that heavy equipment. I mean, come on, there are worse places to do it,
that's
right?
fair, yeah.
But yeah, like, and everyone's just so kind. Everyone's so nice. Obviously, you have to be cautious of where you're walking, where you're going. And there's obviously, you want to be very quiet when you have to be. But wow, I mean, from the media perspective, I was there before they built that new clubhouse for the media. The experience was still 10 out of 10. And then post, 100 out of 10. Like, it was like anything that I thought of, they had already thought of. So they're so ahead of the curve. I feel like whoever they have working for them for that clubhouse, like, should honestly go around the country to, like, stations like ours and be like, this is what you need to do, because they are on top of it.
Hey, anytime you can get, like, free beer, like, I feel like if we can get some free beer here at the station, I think that'd be okay. I think that'd be all right.
I don't know that
I don't know if our news ops manager over there, Branson, would appreciate that, but we'll see how it goes.
Branson's like, immediately no. I've seen what I needed to see.
So you just brought it up, like, covering stories at the Masters, because when you're pitching, like, stories to your news director, you got to do it. That's what you do for the news. You've told me a little bit about this story, but tell me about that one time you went out for MOS and you randomly found one of the defending Masters champions' parents.
I hit the lottery that day. So like I said, I was pitching very simple stories. So for example, the first day I thought an awesome story would be to interview the first person in line, because when you score something like a Masters badge, you want to be there from the second they open the gate to the second they close the gate. It might be the only time in your life that you get to go walk these grounds that are just so pristine and so legendary, you know? So I decided on the first day that Monday we're going to interview the first person in line. I think the guy got in line at like 4 a.m. and I think gates open at like 7. So
which is like,
he was ready to go.
I will always like appreciate those people that like get up super early and get there, like just wait, because that's like true passion of like these people.
I mean, he was like, this might never, ever happen to me again. So I want to be there from the time they will let me in to the time they literally kick me out. You know, it's like props to him. Then one day I pitched, you know, where's the best place on the course? And that's the day that you're talking about. You know, I just decided to go out and get MOS. So, you know, that means man on the street. You just walk up to people and ask them a question. And, you know, sometimes people will or won't agree to be on camera. So on this particular day, we walked up to this couple and I was just like, hey, what's the best place on the course? And the guy was like, oh, the 18th.
I feel like that's a very classic answer, the 18th, you know?
And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, like I followed up with, hey, why the 18th? And he goes, oh, that's where I watched my son win the Masters. My heart stopped. Like it literally skipped to me. I looked back at my photographer. I was like, did you just hear this? And, like we couldn't believe it. And I'm like, well, who's your son? He goes, Mike Weir. So I think
out of
it was
thousands of people that were just trucking along Augusta National, you found Mike Weir's parents.
I couldn't believe it either. And obviously, best package ever. That one definitely scored me good points with the boss. And yeah, like
were they chill? Like were they cool?
They were so normal. Like I couldn't even believe what they had said to me. Like, what do you mean? That's where I watched my son win the Masters. Like, what are the chances that that would happen? But at Augusta National, that would happen, you know?
That's probably like one in like, I don't know, like 4 million chances of happening. Again,
I should have played the lottery that day.
You probably should have. And one of the numbers for sure could have been like 18. Had to have been 18. And maybe like Mike Weir's birthday or something.
Like, why didn't I play the lottery that day? But yeah, that was quite a story to tell, both on air and like since that happened, I feel like anytime we talk about the Masters, I always find a way to bring it up because
it's like the greatest story of all time.
What are the chances that would happen?
Yeah. Obviously, whenever you have kids, that's going to be the greatest story to tell of all time too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyone watching, like, if you've been, what is your favorite place?
Yeah, that's true too.
I would argue mine is definitely Amen Corner.
Yeah.
Duh.
I mean, I've never been there, so I'm one of the rare people that, I guess not rare, but one of the people that haven't been able to experience it in person. Like I've seen it on TV, and like yeah, I mean, like you said, like I feel like the way that it's presented on TV and the way that you're telling it is like as perfect as it is in person.
It's perfection, and it's just such an elevated experience. And then just walking the grounds, like taking it all in. It's so surreal. Like you're like, wait, I'm here right now. Like I'm here. I think it's heaven. I literally think it's heaven.
You hear that, John Denver? It's not West Virginia. It's Augusta National.
The end. I feel like we have to get you there.
I feel, you know what? Because our sports photographer, Ed, is usually the one that goes there. We usually try to make a rotating thing. So maybe I'll try to like slip my credential in there for next year.
Rotation.
Beware, Ed. I'm coming next year.
Period.
One thing I want to get to too is like, obviously you brought in some sweet Masters merch. I feel like that hat fits you very well.
This is such an iconic hat. I feel like when these came out, I want to say like 2018.
I feel like that would be like the Louis Vuitton of like merch at like Augusta National. It's like a classic.
This was a very popular hat when it came out.
Yeah.
But that one, these came out last year. I feel
like this one fits me well. A nice little pink. A pink action here.
Although
you literally are wearing pink, and I'm like.
Yeah. Everyone, I brought that hat for him.
She did. I can't confirm. Talk about the merch. Like, you can only buy Masters gear at Augusta National only during Masters Week. When is the merchandise tent as wild as everybody makes it out to be?
Like, It's so, like, the gift shop is so large, like the main gift shop, and they have anything that you could ever need and want in there. I mean, people go in there and they drop $20,000 without blinking of an eye.
Crazy.
Like, it literally is crazy, but you walk through, it's better to go earlier in the week because they still have stuff, because the later you get into the week, like,
oh my God, imagine like trying to go on like a Sunday at noon, like trying to get like merch for
I
that.
will say though, I feel like by the time, like, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday come around, like, those people probably aren't buying the merch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like, it's more like the practice rounds that I feel like everyone is there getting to experience it. Obviously, you know, you can't have your phone. So the merch is like, hey, I bought this. Like, so, you know, you obviously you take what you can. This might be your only experience. So
note to everybody out there, if you see something on like a Temu that says Masters, probably can't confirm, like, that is not an official licensed Masters gear.
No. Like, if it didn't come from the store on the grounds, it is
it's
not
fake.
from.
It's fake news. It's fake news.
Yeah, no, the merch is incredible though. Every year they switch it up. And those were the popular, like, gift.
The go-to hat.
Yeah, last year.
I feel
mean,
honored
at least
that I'm
for
wearing
girls. There was like a couple other one that said like pimento cheese on it. There was another one that said Amen Corner. So they were like, that was the hot ticket item, arguably.
Speaking of cheese.
The food. I've already bought my pimento cheese to, like, make sandwiches this weekend.
You can get it, from there, or do they ship cheese there to
So
you?
they
or is
do
it
have, like, the official Masters,
cheese,
like, kit.
which
food
is
kit,
amazing.
Food kit. Yes, it's so good. Everything. So, okay.
So you can have, wait, hold on a second. So you can have the Masters experience of food.
Yes.
In front of your
Delivered
TV.
right to your front door. Yeah.
And then all you got to put is some flower beds in front of your TV. Maybe do it as the Masters logo. This is a DIY project I feel like I have to achieve.
So I looked it up, and all of the kits are sold out, unfortunately. You have to get in there early, you know, the second they post it on their website, like, you have to click order. But yeah, you can get, like, the chips, I think, like, stuff to make the sandwiches. I think they definitely have the pimento cheese one. They might have the egg salad one too. And then, like, you get the cool Masters, like, iconic cups that, like, the beers come in.
Yep.
And yeah, you can have your own, like, Masters Sunday food kit from the official Masters website.
I think that's legendary.
I can't believe that I, like, forgot to get.
Okay, well, let this be known that you should probably put it in your iPhone calendar right now to order it for next year. Because for everybody that doesn't know, we are actually hosting a little Masters party together with Victoria DeCardenas, who's one of our coworkers as well.
And I think on Friday, we're going to try to recreate some of the food on Arc Florida at 9.
Let's get it.
So
all right.
Tune in for that.
All
and I
right.
think we're going to make one of the mocktails. It's a cocktail. We're going to make it a mocktail because we're at work.
Right. We can't have alcohol at work.
So tune in for that. I forgot the name of the cocktail, but
it's probably like the Masters.
Tune in
the
to
Masters.
Arc Florida. I feel like it was called, like, a flower cocktail.
Oh, yeah, okay. Because like at Augusta, every hole is based off of a flower.
A flower, a tree. Or a shrub.
Shrub.
Yeah. I think those are the three.
Is it really cool to have cheap prices at the Masters too? Like, imagine just firing up 5-6 drinks just that cost what, $30? That.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think they have the cheapest prices of any, like, sporting.
I feel like it's either between them or like the Falcons. Something about Georgia that was like,
Georgia,
what?
Oh my mind.
Oh God, we can't do. We got to cut that out. We got to cut that out.
More singing. Yes, that was awesome.
That was actually pretty good.
Thank you,
Augusta. I'm sorry if you see this, and we did it out of love. We did it out of love. Yeah, so cheap prices. That's one of the other famous things about, because you go to a random golf tournament, it's like $16 for like a cheeseburger and like a Diet Coke.
I mean, water, I think at most sporting events, you're paying like $12 for like a bottle of
Like
water.
the basic like, need of a human being
Yeah,
is like
not
water.
even close to that price.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like probably $5, if not less. I don't have it in front of me, but I brought it up the other day because Al Peffley, big sports guy, was talking about the Masters, and I was like, yeah, have you heard about the menu? He was shocked to learn how cheap the prices are. He's
And
like,
we
no,
know Al is a sucker for good deals.
he's going to investigate.
Imagine Al
get to the
Peffley
bottom
just
of it.
storming the grounds of Augusta National.
Al Peffley would have the best time at Augusta National. He would. And I feel like he would take it all in and he wouldn't believe the prices.
I feel like he would be that guy to try to get an autograph on a golf ball, though.
Uh-oh.
That's his like MO. He would somehow get Rory McIlroy to sign a golf ball for him.
We need to hear from Al Peffley.
We should do a follow-up next week with Al Peffley. Al, you saw it on TV. Let's go through a play-by-play of how you would attack this for you.
Oh, Al. But yeah, best food, cheapest prices, which I guess makes, the badge price worth it because
They make up for it in merch.
the merch.
Because, it's not cheap. Like, the shirts alone are probably like $200.
The shirts are pretty expensive. I mean, I would say like a man's shirt probably $75, but
Not bad.
yeah, I mean that's
feel like that's basic.
typically the price of
Basic golf.
But for me personally, I think some of the funnest is just walking around the iconic blue moons in the Masters Cup. Hoping you don't lose your friends along the way because you can't have your phone.
You can't have your phones. No
Which
phones allowed.
I feel like some people feel like it's controversial because, most sporting events, you can have your phone. It's
Right.
not as strict, but I love that rule. It makes you so, it makes you be
appreciate
so,
it.
yeah, it makes you really be in the moment, take it all in.
You don't have to
mean-
deal with drunk Todd, trying to snap a photo, and he has his, ringer on, and next thing you know, somebody shanks it in the woods.
It's so awesome.
But,
to just live
you
in the
can't even,
moment.
you can't even bring it.
No.
It's not even allowed on the grounds.
I don't believe that you can even get through security. At least when I went, I didn't even try to bring it inside. I just
Right.
left it in my car. They might have some place you could probably leave it and then pick it up
Like a
after.
locker or something,
Yeah. Don't quote me on that. I don't know because the few times that I've gone, I have always left it in my car. Just a good rule of thumb. But I love the rule. I think it really makes you appreciate living in the moment, taking it all in, and is it difficult when you lose someone? Yeah, of course. You're like, uh-oh.
Imagine trying to find your friends, and it's like, meet me at the scoreboard when you think it's 2 o'clock or whatever.
That's exactly what I would do. When we were meeting up with friends, everyone showing up at different times, we'd be like, okay, wait till the sun is directly on top of the scoreboard, and then hope that everyone remembers to meet there. And
It's almost like Azteca time. It's when the pyramid, yeah.
But that's part of the fun, you know? So is it a controversial rule? I feel like some people feel that way. Maybe. I think it's the best rule around. Honestly, I feel like that should be the rule in more places because it makes you appreciate things so much more when you're not
focused on your phone.
I need to get the picture. I need to get the video.
It's like iconic moments. You want to remember it for being there, enjoying the full experience.
Yeah. And if something big happens, you just hope that you're in the right place at the right time.
Or you just watch it on TV.
Exactly. And then I know so many of my friends, I've seen them just on TV when we're watching and they're in the background of a big moment.
Yeah.
And then they'll screenshot the picture and blow it up in their living room. And then everyone remembers that you were there for that moment.
Fair. All right. I want to end with some trivia because there's a lot of things that people don't know, right?
Right.
So some fun trivia for everybody. So
for me and the audience?
yeah, we'll do everybody and the audience,
okay.
but I can't really talk to the audience I'm not really getting audience input, so you will speak for the audience.
Okay.
All right, you ready? When did the green jacket tradition start? What year?
I think it was 1937.
I wish I had a bell. We could do the Jeopardy,
ding,
not
ding,
Jeopardy
ding,
bell.
ding,
Yeah,
ding,
absolutely.
ding.
You're just spot on. There you go. You're one for one.
This is a one-way trivia.
Well, you're the Augusta National expert.
Expert. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Super me that
So
way.
I know nothing. We will. I don't know much. So this is why it's one way. All right. Here's another one. Who's the only president that was a member at Augusta National?
We just talked about this. Okay. I think it was Wilson.
No.
Comment below. Who do you think?
Comment. Dwight D. Eisenhower.
I should have known that.
Only
because
president to have been a club member.
I should have known that. There used to be a hospital in Augusta.
I believe he still has a
Eisenhower.
cabin there too. Like one of the cabins was built for Dwight Eisenhower and his wife when they would go golfing.
Should have known that.
1 for 2. 1 for 2. This will be a true or false question.
Ooh.
Ready? The tournament wasn't played from 93 to 95, or excuse 90. What? From 43 to 45 because of World War II. True or false that area was used for raising animals during that time?
True.
That is correct. It was to help with the war effort. Turkey and cattle were raised on the Augusta National grounds.
Okay, this is a question for the audience. What was Augusta National before it became Augusta National? Comment below.
Can I answer?
Yes, answer.
It was a Fruitland nursery.
Yes, I taught him this the other day.
You did, and it's also on the little piece of paper in front of me, so shout out for having notes. Let's see. They took a $70,000 option on a 365-acre property called Fruitland Nurseries in Augusta, Georgia. Wow.
What was the cost of it?
$70,000 option, which I guess with inflation like today, it'd be, I don't know. I'm not good at math.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty cheap though. Back in the 30s?
Yeah. I don't know. 70,000 in the 30s is
I guess-
actually kind of a lot of money.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know. All right, we got one more. I'll do one more for you.
Okay.
I got one more for you.
Uh-oh.
Let's find a good one. How much did a daily pass cost at the first ever Masters?
Ooh.
1934.
1934. $10.
A daily pass cost $2
Wow.
plus 20 cents of tax.
$2.20.
$2.20
Wow.
in 1934.
I'm shocked.
Prices, I will say, probably have gotten a little higher since then. Just a tad.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, are you excited? Who are you picking? Who are you picking to win?
I just hope they all have fun.
Oh, God.
We're gonna have fun watching them.
We will.
And really, that's all that matters. I hope everyone has a happy and safe Masters week. I wish I was there. But, I mean, I guess watching it on TV we'll have to do again this year.
I'm going Rory McIlroy for anybody that really cares. So let's go Rory.
I'll make my pick closer to the weekend on moving day.
Okay. On moving day. She's waiting till Saturday. After Saturday. Well, I appreciate you and all of your Augusta National knowledge. I'm glad we were finally able to get you on.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. John, what else you got?
Oh, man. Okay, well, we'll save our picks until the end here. But one guy a lot of people are picking is a guy who's had major frustrations here over like 10 years, Rory McIlroy. Again, a guy, he won the Open Championship in 2014. He just needed to win one Masters to complete the career Grand Slam, become, I think, the fifth guy to ever do that, right? The fifth guy. Only five golfers to this point have ever achieved that. And there was that epic collapse at the Masters in 2011 before he won the Open. And his struggles here. He has early struggles here at Augusta National all the time. We always think it might be the year. He's playing well, 2 victories this year already. But this is it's a matter of him getting it out of his mind and winning this thing.
For sure. And going back earlier, talking about how Scheffler had 2 championship wins before coming into the Masters as you just mentioned, that's what McIlroy has right now, and I think that momentum is really going to help him be in that running in the late round on Sunday to be able to have that chance to finally complete the career Grand Slam.
Yeah, it's been 11 years for Rory trying to chase this Grand Slam feat down. And yeah, he's gotten off to slow starts at the Masters before, but like you said, Sam, he and Evanson, like he's really riding a big wave of momentum heading into this Masters. Like you said, 2 wins. I believe he's got 3 top 10 finishes as well already. So, I think he's playing some of his best golf. But yeah, a lot of it comes down to the mental capacity of like being able to do it.
And you talked about we talked about it before the show. A headline that's been coming out is the whole situation with him and media and the golfers with media here at the Masters. Why don't you kind of dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, so real quick. So Colin Morikawa came out. He denied a media request after a round. I believe he didn't play well. So that kind of started a thing. And during the Masters, a reporter actually asked Rory, hey, how do you feel about the stance on that? And Rory agreed with Colin. He's like, listen, I'm not obligated to talk to you guys after a round. Like, it's not like a CBA thing where like NFL players and all other sports have to talk to the media. So he kind of caught some flack about that. I believe one channel, I forget what exactly channel said, like, dude, like, people are investing time and money into covering you and seeing your product. So the least that you can do is provide just a couple minutes to these guys, just talk about your round. Even if it was the worst round of your life, like people have gone through worse, just talk about it. So, that's been a big thing with Rory, not only focusing on the Masters now, but like, his thoughts on like, I don't have to talk to the media.
And I think that's what the TGO was trying to accomplish, is to break that barrier between the players and the audience and the players and media, is bringing them closer and getting that access that you don't get at these major events like the Masters. So it's just,
Justin Thomas sent out a memo to all PGA Tour golfers at the beginning of this season that literally said, we have got to make a better effort, making ourselves available to the fans and available to the media. This is imperative in our sport to make it better. So that is something that he addressed at the beginning of this golf season. So it's funny that this has come up. It might have something to do with just the fact that Rory's probably sick of talking about his failed attempts at winning the career Grand Slam. It's got to be weighing on him. And the more years that go by here, the more it's going to be tougher mentally. But I think he's the type of guy who can eventually pull it off.
Yeah, let's talk about a completely different story for a player at the Masters. Joe Highsmith coming out of nowhere to win the Cognizant Classic just a few months ago. John, you got to talk to him about this experience, and it's been a lifelong dream for him to get to this moment.
Oh, just over a month ago. It's been hardly, it hasn't been a few months, like just over a month. When I talked to him 3 minutes after he won his first ever PGA Tour victory, or pulled off his first ever PGA Tour victory at the Cognizant, he was still in tears. And I asked him, like, what about going to the Masters? And he said, well, I don't want to jinx it. I don't know if that's actually something I've officially earned yet. I'm like, no, it is. When you win this, you're going to the Masters. And he said that he had been dreaming of that since he was 4 years old. He welled up. I asked him again about it yesterday. So I found him, talked to him about what the experience has been like here. He's got his whole family here. His dad and him have watched golf since he was 4 years old, specifically the Masters. So here's my conversation with Joe Highsmith, Cognizant Classic champion, his first Masters right after his first practice round.
I was kind of just thinking about it last night. I mean, coming here is certainly probably the first time that it's really sunk in, like, I guess, what I accomplished or whatever, just because this event is just so historic and so much bigger than every other golf tournament. And, I haven't really played in any. I played in one major as an AM, and it was a U.S. Open, but it was limited fans, and, I mean, certainly nothing to this level. And, I mean, this is the tournament that every golfer wants to play in.
It feels like almost you're a little bit emotional about it. What was it?
For sure.
Talk to me about the emotions out there actually playing.
I've dreamed of playing in this tournament, probably since I was 4 or 5 years old. I mean, we watch every Masters Sunday as a family and, go back and watch like the 86 coverage or all the historic ones. And, I remember like my dad crying in the bedroom while we were watching the 86 Masters, 35 years later. But it's pretty incredible to just be here and teeing it up this week.
And another guy who's looking to accomplish a big feat, just a long journey to come back to the Masters after hardships and injuries, Daniel Berger. I mean, you got that's just a guy that you really got to root for. What he's been able to overcome and accomplish with his back issues, coming back to this tournament. I mean, it's a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, he's a local kid. Evenson and I have covered him a bunch. It's what storylines are made of, right? This would be a complete great Daniel coming back from injury to win the Masters. Absolutely, I'm all for that.
Yeah, he was out just an absolutely debilitating back injury. Took him out for 18 months. When it started, he couldn't sit, he couldn't stand. He thought his golf career might be over. And I think it really gave him an awakening. I can't believe it was 2016 when he first played the Masters, but I spoke to him here then. I was here that year and asked him, just how excited are you? I mean, to be here, it's surreal, right? And he said, I got to be honest, I didn't watch a lot of sports on TV when I was a kid, and I didn't watch the Masters. I played sports. I didn't watch sports. And it doesn't have that it doesn't have that larger than life feeling for me because I just never appreciated it like everyone else did. So I asked him today if now that he's been out for all that time and he's back here for the first time since 2022, if it had some meaning, and it has. All of his things that he's grown to appreciate have happened from playing here since 2016, and he thought it was gone. He thought it had been taken away from him. So it's so great to see him back playing his practice rounds, and he's playing good golf too. And I caught up with him as well after his practice round. He played the first 9 on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think anytime you're here, you got to be grateful. It's it's a tough event to get into, and it means that you've done some good things, whether it was last year or at the beginning of the year, and just proud of the way that I've kind of battled over the last year and put myself in position to play another major, which is always fun.
But having played here a bunch of times now, is there more of an appreciation, maybe things that you cherish or just sort of hold that you're enjoying again here today?
No, I definitely think you're spot on with that. I think you could take it for granted for sure, and then you miss a couple years and you come back and you're like, wow, I really missed this. When you watch it on TV, you don't have an appreciation for the amount of slope that are in the greens and how fast the greens are. And I've focused on my process the last couple days and, done the things that I need to do to prepare myself. And the rest is just about going out there and having fun and enjoying it. And, whatever happens is going to happen. You can't control the results. You can just have a good time and put in the work.
All right, so this is it, the big moment. We do it pretty much after.
This guy can't put that damn sandwich.
He cannot. We pretty much do it after each episode, regardless of what event it is. Our picks for the Masters this time. John, we start with you. You've seen a lot of these guys in the practice rounds. Who you got?
I am so boring. I am so darn boring. So darn boring. But this was my strategy for the NCAA tournament bracket.
He's going chalk here.
Picking a lot of the 1 seeds and 2 seeds, and I came in second. Sam Kerrigan, the Gator fan of the universe, won, I think. I came in second. But I'm going to say, I really, really feel like I can't pick just one. I feel like it's going to be either Scottie Scheffler pulling off some history or Rory McIlroy pulling off some history. And I will say this, if that sounds like a cop-out, I think the two of them are going to be going neck and neck on Sunday for their history. I think both of them are going to be in contention on Sunday.
Wow. Max?
Yeah, I said my pick with Steph. I'm still feeling it a couple days later. I'm going with Rory, man. It's been 11 years for him trying to chase his Grand Slam. I just feel like he's coming in on such a heater right now. And, be annoyed with the media if you want, Rory. If you want us to leave you alone, go get it. So I just think Rory's the pick for me right now.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat with you. I just think that the momentum that he has coming into this tournament, already having 2 wins this season, 3 already top 10 finishes. I just think it's finally his time. The stars are aligning, and yeah, I don't want to jinx him having some sort of historic fall off or major drop off, but as we all know, that's very possible. But I don't see that happening this year.
All right, guys, before we go, the big reveal. There it is.
Eat it, dude. Go ahead.
There's
You can finally eat it. Eat
There's
it.
the pimento.
Yeah, let's get a quick one bite.
Dude,
Everybody
I'm
knows
gonna
the
say
rules.
the Zoom camera doesn't really do this sandwich.
There it is.
Justice. No.
All right. Well, I can tell you what the taste buds do.
Okay. So while he enjoys that, we're going to sign you guys off. Thank you for tuning in to this week's special episode of our Masters coverage. We'll be back here next week with our recap and a whole new slate of topics. We'll see you then.
Best Florida Sports Podcast drops every Thursday morning. Listen on your favorite platform or watch on YouTube.